Welcome to TKX Stories. Tonight, we unravel the ancient mystery behind one of the world's most celebrated nights, Halloween. We'll explore how it evolved from ancient rituals to modern festivities, crossing cultures, religions, and time itself. So dim the lights, grab your pumpkin spice, and let's begin. It all began over 2,000 years ago with the Celts of ancient Ireland and Northern Europe. Their year revolved around nature's cycles, and Samhain, celebrated on October 31st, marked the end of the harvest and the arrival of the dark winter. This was no ordinary night. The Celts believed that on Samhain, the boundary between the living and the dead blurred, allowing spirits to walk the earth. To appease these wandering spirits, the Celts would leave offerings of food and valuables outside their homes. This ensured that malevolent ghosts passed by without bringing harm. Families also believed that the spirits of their ancestors would return, and they welcomed them with open arms, setting places at their tables for the visiting souls. But it wasn't just about offerings. Massive bonfires were lit, believed to hold protective powers. The Celts would don costumes, often made from animal skins, to hide themselves from wandering spirits. These early traditions of dressing up and kindling flames in the dark would lay the foundation for Halloween as we know it. Centuries later, the Roman Empire expanded across Celtic territories. With them came their own traditions, particularly Feralia, a festival to honor the dead, and Pomona, a celebration of the goddess of fruit and trees. As Roman and Celtic traditions blended, the spirit of Samhain evolved, intertwining death and the harvest. By the 9th century, Christianity had spread across Europe. To suppress the pagan roots of Samhain, the Church established All Saints' Day on November 1st, also known as All Hallows' Day. The night before, October 31st, became All Hallows' Eve, a night still associated with spirits and the supernatural. Eventually, the name evolved into the Halloween we know today. In some places, All Saints' Day was followed by All Souls' Day, a day to remember the souls of the departed. During the medieval period, people would visit homes, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cakes. This practice, known as a souling, bears a striking resemblance to the modern custom of trick-or-treating. Halloween crossed the Atlantic, with Irish immigrants fleeing the Great Famine in the 1840s. They brought their folklore and traditions, including the carving of jack-o'-lanterns. In Ireland, they used turnips or potatoes, but in America, pumpkins were more plentiful and easier to carve, giving birth to the glowing faces we see today. According to Irish folklore, there was a man named Stingy Jack who tricked the devil and was doomed to wander the earth for eternity. His only light came from a burning coal, which he placed in a carved-out turnip. This gave rise to the tradition of carving jack-o'-lanterns to ward off evil spirits, just as Jack wandered to escape his fate. By the early 20th century, Halloween had transformed into a community event in America. Parties, parades, and neighborhood gatherings replaced much of the superstition. By the 1920s and 1930s, Halloween was a time for children to dress up, visit neighbors, and share in the fun, though the tricks of pranksters weren't entirely forgotten. Trick-or-treating as we know it began to take shape in the mid-20th century. The practice borrowed from a mixture of souling, guising, and mischief-making. Kids would don costumes, go door to door, and offer performances or rhymes in exchange for sweets. By the 1950s, it became the Halloween staple we recognize today. Today, Halloween isn't just an American tradition. Countries around the world have embraced the celebration in their own unique ways. In Japan, Halloween has become a festival of cosplay, while in Mexico, it coincides with Dia de los Muertos, a vibrant celebration honoring ancestors. Each country has put its spin on the Night of the Spirits. With the rise of pop culture, Halloween took on new forms of expression. From classic horror films like Halloween and The Exorcist, to iconic costumes inspired by movies, TV shows, and books, Halloween became a night where imagination reigns. For many, it's not just about candy anymore. It's about becoming whoever or whatever they want for one magical night. So, from ancient fire-lit nights in Celtic villages to the costume parades of today, Halloween has always been a night of wonder, transformation, and mystery. It's a celebration that invites us to remember the past, honor the unknown, and most importantly, embrace the magic of the season. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of Halloween. What began as an ancient festival has become a night of creativity, spookiness, and tradition. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more stories from TKX Stories. Until next time, stay curious and stay spooky.